Hey there, welcome to Abundant Source Raw, and in this video I wanted to talk about proper posture and how you can achieve proper posture. It's so crazy to look around at the majority of people these days and just everybody's posture is so out of whack, and most people are just walking very awkwardly and slumped over. It's so crazy. And a lot of it has to do with the food that we're eating. In fact, I would say probably 90% or so has to do at least with the food that we're eating. And posture has everything to do with hydration, in my opinion. Everybody's eating cooked, dehydrated foods and acidic foods, and clogging, constipating foods for the body that really tighten it up, and just yeah, they're like a hard ball of lymphatic stagnant lymphatic mass. Most people have poor blood flow, very restricted, because they've got tons of different things, all these toxins in them, but also they've got so much fat and really hardened masses of lymph, and they've got that serpent in their belly. They've got that usually a bunch of meals backed up in their colon and in their intestine, which is bigger than it's supposed to be. It's really stretching out, and it is clogging a lot of the blood flow, and it's really restricting a lot of blood flow, and all these toxins and acids are using up a lot of water, and so you can't really feel what it's like to be totally hydrated if you've got all these acids, and it's definitely going to mess with your posture. And what I've noticed personally is that the food that I eat and my hydration level basically has almost everything to do with natural posture and being aligned right. It's so amazing when you start to get clean and you start to get hydrated, the things that happen. I used to play video games all the time. I mean, I would play video games probably 8 to 12 hours a day, almost every single day on the computer for years. Like from 13 years old until I was 20. I was playing video games every day for probably at least 8 hours a day. And but I always worried about my posture, and I was always pretty conscious of my posture as well. So I think that kind of saved me from being completely hunched over. But basically my right shoulder is very susceptible to I guess just inflammation, and there's something about my right shoulder that if I ever eat cooked food, I mean, it bulges out a little bit, not really noticeable, but I can definitely feel it, and it's just totally swelled up compared to my left shoulder here. And when I'm totally hydrated, it goes down, and my shoulder's been like that probably since I was at least 13 years old, and since I went on a raw food diet and I got totally clean and hydrated, all that swelling went away, and it was totally aligned perfectly with my left shoulder. And it was crazy because it had always been more bulging than my left shoulder for years, and finally, after getting hydrated, it went down, and I was always trying to push it back and try and correct the posture. And those posture exercises can be beneficial and they're great, but they're not addressing the root cause of why you need to do the posture exercises. I find that if you are very hydrated, your posture just naturally realigns itself. You don't even have to really do anything. It's just people are so dehydrated that it's compressing their joints. Their joints aren't lubricated. They're very acidic, and everything's so tight, and it's just because they're not hydrated. And so I find even when I'm on the computer a lot today, that it doesn't really affect my posture or affect my shoulders or my neck or anything like that if I'm staying hydrated, because everything's just flowing properly, everything's lubricated, and so it just naturally aligns the posture to its optimal state. It feels so nice to feel hydrated and have that proper alignment, I mean, you just feel like you're standing up and walking correctly for the first time in your life, and most likely you are, and it just feels so good. You know, there's no inflammation that's happening, there's no like tightness. You just feel so loose and lubricated and so straight, and you feel so symmetrical. And it's so natural and easy to do when you're hydrated. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to worry about pulling your shoulders back and, you know, and keeping your head straight up and you know, doing lunges to get that posture or anything like that. It's just natural. The joints just expand and lubricate, and I found that staying hydrated is more effective than any type of posture techniques or, you know, recorrective exercises or anything like that. It's all about hydration for the most part. You'll probably have to do some exercises to recorrect some really bad posture and to, you know, just get it at its optimal peak state. But I found that hydration is just like the game changer, and has more to do with being properly aligned and than anything else. And so if you want to feel what total hydration feels like, and you want to feel what it's like to have amazing posture without even trying, and to be able to just, you know, walk like you feel like you're walking on air, is just so much different. And people don't know because they've never experienced it. They have no idea what type of level they can get to by eating clean and becoming hydrated. They think that the way that they're living and their posture and, you know, what they're feeling when they're walking and how they're standing is normal. And then once you get hydrated, it's like, oh my gosh, that was awful. It's crazy the differences you'll feel and how you'll just feel so light and fluid and amazing. And you'll sleep better, I believe. If you're totally clean and hydrated, you don't have to worry about waking up with kinks in your neck and, you know, back problems or anything like that, because most people blame that on the way that they sleep, but in reality it's because they're dehydrated and they're toxic and they are so tight, and you know, it's not how they slept, it's just that they've had all this lymphatic blockage and all this other toxic crap that is, you know, building up in a certain area of their body. And then when they wake up from sleep, then it's really just it's really just exposing that flaw in their body. And so being on an all raw food, high water content diet, I always wake up feeling fluid and lubricated. It's so amazing. And you know, no matter what way I sleep, it doesn't matter what position, you know, I always wake up and have a clear mind, and I never feel groggy, and I'm able to just jump out of bed and feel great. I don't have to stretch or do anything, although stretching definitely helps. But you just feel so good. So if you want great posture, stop eating cooked, dehydrated foods that are going to tighten you up and make you stiff. You know, get on the high water content stuff. Get on the mangoes and watermelon and even some bananas. If you're severely dehydrated, then drink a lot of water as well once you hit a certain point. I don't really believe that water is even that necessary. I think you can get it pure, more pure detoxifying water from the fruit, and it keeps you hydrated without consuming any water. But if you're coming from cooked food, then I would say definitely drink a lot of water and get rehydrated, and just stay on the raw living high water content foods, and your posture is going to get so much better. You're going to find corrections and things that you never thought you probably would, because it all has to do with dehydration, you know, like slip discs in the back, you know, different spinal symptoms and different inflammation symptoms in your shoulders and your neck and kinks and things like that. You'll find that they just smoothen out and everything just corrects itself once you get rehydrated. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more videos on fruitarianism, spirituality, and natural living, and I'll talk with you in the next video.